This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day.
So when you wake up tomorrow, you go to God and say, Lord, what's today about? And we want to believe that your query or your inquiry will sponsor a feedback. You will now pay attention to life lived strictly by that feedback. I've told you the story of how I got my first job in Lagos. Don't go to Ikeja. I was under the shower. Say you have been going to Ikeja for 2 months until you became a non-paid cyber cafe attendant. My boss had a job in Alausa Secretariat. You see, I called him my boss. Because I used to go and look for work every day. And sometimes I have to beg my way to get airtime. What we used to call that thing. You know, there's this computer password that you pay for so that they give you browsing time. So he now said, okay, I can't be leaving work again. He now taught me how to generate browsing time passwords. And so when I come in the morning, sometimes he just opens the door. I clean. And now generate time. So I'll now be browsing free, looking for work, and be helping him manage the place. That guy did not give me 1 naira. Never. I learned web design on YouTube, did all those things myself. He didn't pay me anything. Thank God I left web design. But it was free work. And sometimes I would trek from Oba, Excellence Hotel, to Olowu Street. Olowu Street is off Obafemi Awolowo. I had already found a route of intercession. And then I'll get there. And then in the evening, I will trudge back home. And my hosts in Lagos will say, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. They always felt that I was going to work because I will leave early like every other person. One day I left late because I was tired. And the Lord said to me under the shower, ask me to help you. May you hear that voice early. I said, help me, help me. He said, today you will go to Apapa. I don't know Apapa. He kept quiet. So I still trekked to Computer Village. All those Acme Road and all of that. Got to that Computer Village under Ikeja under bridge. And now asked someone, I'm going to Apapa. The guy, I don't even know the road. The guy just said, take Obalende. It resonated with my spirit. I had only money to get to Obalende. So I took Obalende. And as I lighted at Obalende, I was looking for the next one. Out of the blues came a young man named Shegun. And Shegun said to me, you are going to Apapa? You are looking for work? I said, yes. Follow me. I know they said they used to kidnap people, but I remembered I was branded. So we entered the car. He paid my tea fare and gave me money. That's how I got back home. And when we got to Apapa, we got to one junction. Down is Wharf. I remember the number of the street, number 22 Wharf Road. He said, enter that building. UBA was up. Asked for so person. He gave me the name of the person there. Tell him there's one time he wanted to do insurance. That I was his insurance agent. My name is Shegun. And I walked in. The person at the counter said, no, you can't see him. I ran inside, knocked the guy's door and said, I want to see you, sir. You are Mr. Steve. He said, yes. I mentioned the surname. He said, yes. I said, I need a job. He said, we don't have work. I said, sir, I need a job. Your friend, Mr. Shegun. The man said he has never done insurance with a Shegun before. I said, but he says it's your friend that he was his. He said, I don't know the person, my friend. But that was my first job in Lagos. Went home, got sad, and then the Lord told me, go again. So I went again. The lady said, you again? I ran in. Because she needs to come out of her chair before she can block me. And the road is straight. So I just moved and got to a gas office. He said, you again? And I sent my CV. I looked for everybody on Facebook that had his name and sent my CV to everybody. Nobody replied. And then I walked in again. He said, I told you there's no work. I said, sir, I need this job. And I told him, that web designing, sir, I even designed something small for your company. He said, but there's no work. Just drop your CV. As I was going out, he said, I'll get back to you. Okay, this is hope. But there's no money to go home. I didn't ask. As I was walking out, he called that same lady to call me back to his office. And I came back. He said, the Lord said I should give you money for transport. So he gave me 4,000 naira. From there to my house that time, my papa to Ogba was 600 naira. I knelt down there on the road at 22 Wharf Road in tears to the God who sees and provides. If you catch me hustling for money, you should cane me. I have seen the Lord's goodness enough in a lifetime to be able to trust him. This boy has withdrawn money from ATM machines without having zero in my account. At the word of the Lord, he said, approach, join the line. 5,000. 5,000. I now said, Kai. They said it seems to have camera. Skybank at the Olodeku that time. So I walked into the bank and said, I'm sorry. I didn't have money in my account. This is my balance. It was less than 1 naira because they had removed charges. But I need you to help me check if money was paid in or money was removed. The lady said, you mean you withdrew money? I said, yes. She said, no transaction happened on this account. Money didn't come in, money didn't go out. So she called another person and they were explaining and they were wondering, are you trying to, they didn't believe that I withdrew money. I'm saying money didn't enter the account, money didn't go out. And I was stranded on that street. It was that day I heard him say to me, you are an eagle with broken wings. It's been a long walk with Jesus. If we compromise now, we are fools. Because in the day that it didn't look like it, we stayed. You know when you put money in your pocket and you hold it to be sure that it's still there. Anyway, I spent the 10K. When we get to heaven, we'll ask who put it there. I have seen possibilities of deliverance. I have seen possibilities of God's unnatural ability to save. All by a communication. Shortly before I lost that job, he came again. It was a Sunday morning. I just come out of Christ Embassy, Clay bus stop. That's Kurat Abiola. He said, stand outside, 7 p.m. We just finished evening service. Stand outside. A car will pass now, a black car with a church logo on it. That's the church we go to. And it passed, there was a harp on it. Woo! Sunday morning I woke up and I began to look for the church. But somebody said, the church is in LTV. You know LTV. I got to LTV. They said they have moved. Now they have moved to First Bank bus stop. That's after Oregun. I trekked Sunday morning and came to the church. I saw that it was a church that I didn't even have good clothes for. Joined foundation school. After 3 weeks, I became an icon. Because they were trying to imagine how a human being can pray like this one. Who taught this guy the Bible that he can analyze like this? Became a pastor before I finished foundation school. And a decorated one. An official car. They even offered me an official apartment. I said I have somewhere I'm staying. My salaries were not missed. Allowances all the time. Including for what to wear. A communication. That's how we unlock seasons. He must speak to you. And when that communication comes, defining the season, defining the day, walking circumspectly means that you stay true to the terms of the conversation, not as fools, but as wise. When you see a man who is not living strictly along the lines of that which has been advertised to him, as per the shape of the opportunities locked into his season, then it means that that man is unwise. That's what the Bible is saying. See then that ye walk circumspectly, to be watchful over themselves and to be a law to themselves. That's the proof that you are wise. Verse 16. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And about 4 years ago, I taught on this subject, and I was trying to demonstrate how that you can use time to buy time. But I found out that, you see, the concept here is not a kairos or a chronos. You must know how to manipulate that word time and make it the word opportunity. Every day comes with multiple opportunities. The big one that you lost was because you stayed with a small one. So the Lord tells you, Isaac, wake up, go to Turkey. Because there is a destiny engagement you will come into. And you come out of your house and somebody says, hey, did you watch Chelsea Brighton yesterday? I think they played into this morning. And don't worry, they won. Chelsea has been winning all their matches. It's a sign of good things to come. You know. Did you watch Chelsea and Brighton? And he says, I have it on my phone. And he begins to play it. You still engage the opportunity to watch a football match, but at the expense of the big one to shift your destiny. Because after watching, the only testimony you have is a match that was played, that you watched, and no value was added to you. The way we buy into opportunities is to live life by the possessed wisdom of trading weak opportunities for major ones. That's how we redeem the time. You can't buy time with tears. That was Esau's problem. There was a season of that he traded away his birthright. And the Bible says he sought for it with tears. That currency is not relevant when an opportunity is involved. You will need to wait on another opportunity to swap it. And he prevailed. Because what he did was to take advantage of everything that was available to him, even though his life lacked a blessing, so that in the day the blessed man came, the blessed man was afraid of the man who had no blessing. Sent half of the things that he had, then sent his wife and children. That at least if he takes all of those ones, kills those ones, takes these ones, when I meet him, he will have mercy on me. And then Esau came and said, no, take what you have, and I'll be made strong. There are things that God called you to pursue. And I'm speaking to someone. And the reason why you have not been able to apprehend that thing is that you settled for the small ones. Some people have settled for immediate comfort, instead of going through a season of pain so that you can climb into what God is doing. I like the emphasis of being able to separate a dealing from suffering. But it takes mastery to separate. Are you with me? Many believers, because you see, truth, I found out that there are cheap ways to move through life. If a man is committed to God, there are things that people use cerebral powers to decipher that will be natural for you to know. You can know what Jesus is doing in your life. Because I know what Jesus is doing in my life, I don't need to labor to decipher between a dealing and suffering. The signature of God is always on a dealing. So and the simple way to know is that you are born again. Except a man be born again, he cannot perceive the kingdom. It means in the event that I'm going through, I can perceive that this is kingdom, this is not kingdom. It's not cerebral.